first business venture was a goto type of food stall, but after a year he had to close it down because the building where it was located lost all the other tenants. In the 1990s, he found another inspiration during the El Nino phenomenon, a water filling station, which he has until now. Here with us is Mr. Carson Tan, the owner of Aquabest. Hi, Carson, welcome to the show.
Hello, Ria. It's nice to meet you.
Okay, Aquabest is obviously not your first business venture, but it is your main one now. What has made it so successful?
Water is a commodity. I mean, when you get into a business of commodity, you cannot go wrong. But there are trends and different changes in our landscape and different trends in our lifestyle that makes these needs come up from time to time. Because of safety issues and hygienic issues, people are much aware about the danger of dirty water.
When you started out selling Aquabest, where was the market with bottled water? Because when bottled water was first introduced, people were laughing and they're saying, nobody's going to buy that. Why should people pay for water, right?
Yeah, I was laughing myself because when I first saw the bottled water at the refrigerator of my classmate, way back during my high school years, that was decades ago. So I was laughing. Why do people buy bottled water? There's so much ample water supply gushing out of the faucet, and everybody can drink from the faucet. I don't know if you experienced that. I mean, we were drinking from the faucet before. So what changed my mind? What changed my mindset? It's really the contamination of the 21st century because of urbanization, because of the way we live, the lifestyle that we chose. We are very irresponsible in dumping a lot of chemicals, the seepages that's happening in our underground water. So many things are not safe anymore. So that brought out the need.
It sounds like you chanced upon an opportunity at the right time. As a businessman, are you able to always spot the next big thing, the next opportunity or business idea that's really going to fly?
Entrepreneurs will always want to spot opportunities, but we don't grab every opportunity that comes our way, because there are opportunities that are not really meant for us. There are opportunities that opposes the values that we have. Like, I mean, if bingo entertainment comes along and everybody can jump into it, you can make a lot of money, but it questions a lot of values.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't just grab every opportunity that comes along the way. As a Christian, I always believe in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 that we just trust in the Lord, our God, and we don't rely on our understanding. So sometimes I believe that God gives us the wisdom to somehow to choose the right opportunity.
But there are water refilling stations all over the metro, even provincially. How do you set yourselves apart from the rest?
Technology. With our company, we have this good business practice that we focus on three things. Like, we focus on people, we focus on the product, and we focus on the processes. So the people who are the stakeholders, who are our customers, first-tier customers, second-tier, the end consumers, our employees, our investors. So we focus on the people, and then the process. We try to keep on trying to improve the process, trying to perfect the system, and also the product. What would make the product click? What would be the wants and needs of our customers that we need to satisfy?
What are the challenges that come with running a water refilling station?
Competition. Very, very, very harsh competition. It's a fierce competition out there because the barrier for entry right now is very, very low for those new business entrepreneurs. During 1997, our capital was more than $1 million. But nowadays, you can have 300,000 and you can put up a water station. And the barrier for entry is now very, very low because of technology and the proliferation of China-made products.
You've had other businesses in the past that you've had to close. What are the things that you learned from growing and closing those businesses that you've been able to bring to Aquabest?
Each failure really gives you lots of lessons for you to rise again and do it once more. I don't see failures as a failure. If I fail, that means we haven't succeeded yet. Each step of the way is a learning process.
How important is branding for Aquabest?
Branding is important because even if you have the best products in the whole world, but Without a brand recognition, without brand equity, people don't know whether you exist or not. I mean, branding is more of identification. You identify with the brand. If you experience something that is good, you want to remember, where did I buy this product? What brand is this product? So each time you come back to the supermarket or whether you shop around, you know it's an identifier. The brand is an identifier. So we want to have people to experience what Aquabest is. It's not just, we're not selling water per se, but it's also part of an experience that is, we say it's the best tasting water in town.
Did you plan for it to be a franchise? I think not,
No,
right?
not. Yeah. Because there were so many inquiries about, would you like to franchise this concept? We would like to have the same kind of business because it was flourishing at that time. It was those golden years that people were lining up, queuing up on a water store. So we decided to put up another franchising company.
When you franchise out the Aquabest stores, are you simply supplying them with water, or it also comes with a filtration system?
It's a franchising package, so we install the system. It's a turnkey business that we put up for them.
Are there specific bodies of water from which you would source your materials? Like, do you prescribe, okay, we will only get water from here, here, and here, or the franchisee can decide where they'll get the water from?
Whatever source the water would be coming from, we need to test. No? We have to send it to our engineers and test the water for impurities. Then we come up with an engineer design what will filter those media, what kind of media do we need to filter those impurities. But we all know that in Metro Manila, it's just Manila water and Maynila, so it's kind of easy for us to come up with a design.
You have always been in sales, right?
Yeah. We are all in sales.
How did that background help you in what you're doing now?
Sales is really an art of convincing people. Whether you're asking a higher commission or a higher salary or a higher allowance from your parents, you are doing selling. No? So I learned that stuff from my encyclopedia selling, the ropes and the rudiments of the selling. It's an art. Selling is an integral part of a business because it's a lifeline of the business.
Did you always want to be an entrepreneur yourself? And where do you get that drive to start your own businesses, to run them and keep going when they don't succeed?
My first mentor was my mom, so she always would inculcate the values of money, of savings, of being a businessman, and the values of succeeding in life through patience, endurance, passion. So my mom is a big part of my being an entrepreneur.
Being a successful entrepreneur, I hear it from my guests all the time, it requires passion and innovation. In the water industry, how does one innovate and stay relevant? Aside from the fact that people need to drink water every day.
That's a nice question, Ria, because with water, there's no taste in it, so it's hard to differentiate. No? I wish we were in the food industry. But you know, it takes a connoisseur time for you to distinguish which water is pure and which water is not. I mean, I can distinguish a water with chlorine and the water that's not, no? But for the consumers, how do I differentiate my water? So it's not really just the water. It's the product comes with the service, the kind of service that you provide to your consumers. Packaging is also part of the product. Technology is also part of the product. If you can give them the benefits of the technology that will benefit their health, that is differentiation. Like with Aquabest, we call the soul technology, the soul in Aquabest. So we use, that's an acronym for the benefits that we use, giving people, consumers with security, order, ultra pure, and living. So we use four different kinds of technology to give the best water every consumer wants.
And are you finding that you need to upgrade or update the technology you're using quite often?
Not really much, but innovation can come not only with the product and technology. Innovation can also come in the change of your system and also complementing your business. Like right now, our offering comes with a laundromat package. Look, so since with the purification of water, 60% of the water is being wasted. So we come up with the concept of how to save water by teaming up, complementing the water store with the laundromat package.
Okay, so I like that idea. It's like the water that is not used after the filtration or cleaning process is discarded. It's not suitable for drinking, but you can use it to wash clothes.
Yes.
Right? What are your tips for entrepreneurs as to how to spot the good and profitable opportunities?
As an entrepreneur, you have to study the market. You should know also the margin of safety. Margin of safety is defined as your expected sales minus the break-even sales. So you should know that there is enough margin for you to play with. But nowadays, some people just jump into the water without testing the waters. So that's where the problem comes in, because if the overhead is too high, the break-even point will be very high. Your margin of safety will be very, very slim. The margin of safety has to be very big. That's why we are into the food business, water business, because the margin of safety is relatively bigger.
Okay, and once you have established a good business, what's the secret to sustaining it?
Innovation.
Nice
Simple
and simple. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Carson.
Thank you, Rhea,
W.
for inviting me.
Our first guest may have been unsuccessful with his goto type business, but pulled off a successful water refilling station. When we come back, learn how the owner of Goto King has successfully run her business for almost 3 decades and made it one of the leading Pinoy fast food chains. Keep it here on Shop Talk.